Hey everybody, just thought I'd do a quick impromptu video on my Colt Commander 45 ACP, and as in the description of the video, just can never seem to be satisfied. I'll try not to make this as long and boring and drawn out as my previous video. If anybody has watched it, I don't believe I've seen too many comments on it, but if you have watched the video, I talk about issues that I had with my Springfield Champion operator, lightweight, cosmetic, and some other issues that I had with it as well. So I decided to see about trading it off for the Colt that you see in front of you. Hadn't seen too many reviews out there, but I saw a few, and I really like the looks of it. My main attribute to the gun, I guess you could say, is the fact that it has an all-steel frame. It's not an aluminum lower like the Springfield was, and I was having issues with some defects right behind the safety on that aluminum frame, where it looked like it was starting to crack. Anyhow, so I talked to my local gun store and talked to them about trading. Not so quite even up on the two, but close enough for me, I guess. And I went ahead and picked up the firearm. And I'll tell you what, at the gun store, looked great. Of course, I guess everything looks great, smothered in, cosmoline. Wiped it off initially. I looked it over pretty good, at least I thought I did, while I was at the gun store, and didn't see anything that really stood out to me. And brought the pistol home, and once I did get home, started cleaning it up and, just detailed it further, and started finding some issues on it that I wasn't too pleased about. I'll try to point them out. I hope the video doesn't turn out too awful shaky, but I'll try to point out some of the issues that I did find with the firearm. Right out the gate, first issue I found, and there you go for all you Nancys out there. First issue I found was that the front sight blade was, or is, pushed just a little too far to the right. And so when I had it out at the range and I was just doing some initial firing with it, doing some groupings, a lot of my groups were low and to the left. Even when I did put the pistol on a bench rest and was firing at 16.6 yards or 50 feet, give or take the indoor range. So again, front sight, not exactly centered. I would rather drift the rear if I had to make sight adjustments instead of trying to drift the front. In my opinion, the front sight should be perfectly centered, and you should only have to make corrections on your rear sight if need be. Looking at the rear sight, though, it looked to me like it was fairly well centered. Some other issues that I found, and I doubt the camera's going to pick this up very well, but there is a flat spot just to the right of the front sight. I don't think you can really see it, but anyhow, it looks to me like the radius wasn't ground correctly. There you can kind of see it if you know what you're looking for. Radius wasn't ground correctly at the factory. And, I understand this is not a high-end pistol from Colt. This is just a baseline model, but in my opinion, still, shouldn't everything that you own or everything that you buy or that you invest your money into, shouldn't it be, shouldn't there be some kind of level of quality control? What have we come to as far as American manufacturing these days? This pistol by no means was cheap. So, to that note, you shouldn't get a product that, in my opinion, has as many cosmetic defects on it as I found on this one. Um, I don't know if I'll do it. I'll try. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just, kind of piece it into this video here. But as soon as you pull off the slide stop right here, you're going to just see all kinds of nasty tooling marks behind it. And then just all over the gun. Tooling mark there, just on the lower right corner where the pin goes in to secure the mainspring housing. Over on the side over here, again, you got a good nick right there in the finish, right there on the front serration. Not all that spectacular. You look down here on the lower frame, and let's see if I can pick that up for you guys. There it is, right there, just on the very edge. You see some tooling marks there. So, I mean, overall as a whole, the gun does what it's supposed to do, and it functions fine. I've not had one issue with it yet functioning, so I can't complain about the overall mechanics of a pistol. The thing that I am complaining about is the finish, the quality of the finish as it came from the factory. I just don't find it. I'm not satisfied with it. And there's one other issue right here. Maybe you guys have had this happen to you guys before. Doesn't look to me like the relief cut on the slide was done very well either. I'm getting constant when the brass ejects from the firearm, it's doubling back and pinging the crap out of the top of the slide. I just don't, I don't see why that should be, unless there was some kind of defect in the slide itself. I mean, if you want my opinion, the entire slide needs to be replaced. It does. The front sight needs to be adjusted properly, put into center. Relief cut needs to be a little bit deeper. Maybe there's an extraction issue. I did talk to my local gunsmith, and he told me that if the pistol is brand new, you're going to need to fire quite a few rounds for it. And, maybe the extractor itself was out of tune, maybe just a little too tight. Anyhow, those are some of the issues that I've had with the firearm. There's another blemish right there. You can kind of see it between where the machine surface and the satin surface meet. Blemish right there. And just, again, I mean, I'm picky. I am. I'm very picky when it comes to the look of my firearms. Like I said, if you're going to go out there, you're going to spend your hard-earned money on something, just in my opinion, I think it should come to you as flawless as it can. Again, I know these are mass-produced pistols. These aren't custom shop pistols, but it doesn't give me confidence when I think about ordering or purchasing any more pistols from Colt. I do have an AR from Colt. My very first AR I bought was a Colt Combat Unit carbine, and I had such high hopes for that. And I'll tell you, when I got that AR home and really started to scrutinize it and look it over, the fit and finish on it was just absolute crap. The rail didn't mate up with the receiver correctly. The anodizing, there was tooling marks all over the anodizing. I mean, it was pretty pathetic. But, with my AR, I knew that I was gonna end up beating that gun up. I knew that when I took it out into the field, it was gonna get roughed up. And when I shot it, I mean, that is what I bought it for. I bought it for a rifle that was going to be extremely well used, and thus far, it has been. I consider my carry pistol, and it is going to get used. I've already got about 500 rounds through it, and hell, I just picked it up on the 26th. I do a lot of shooting, but I want to say that maybe it goes back to pride of ownership. I have a lot of pride of ownership on this. Every session at the range, when I come home, I just don't leave it in the bag or put it in the safe. It gets stripped down and it gets cleaned. It gets taken care of. And when I see some of the defects in the finish that I found on the firearm, those things they just really irritate me. Now, I have not had a chance to get a hold of customer service yet because in their warranty, they state, and I quote, that all defects, all cosmetic defects, they will service within a year of purchase of the firearm. So I'm going to hold them to that. And I've made a detailed list of the things that I found wrong with the firearm. I even went ahead and taken my own photos and printing those photos off to include with the firearm if I get a chance to actually contact somebody and send the firearm back. Because I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried to call Colt customer service. Consider yourself very lucky if anyone answers within 5 or 10 minutes of being on hold. When I purchased my AR and was trying to get an idea of when that was going to ship to my FFL, it took me, I believe, a week of constant calling every day, certain times of the day when I had the chance, just calling and calling and calling before someone actually picked up the phone. And then when that person did pick up the phone, they were extremely rude. I mean, extremely rude. So I'm not looking forward to this round with customer service again. And a lot of you guys out there might ask me, well, then why do I even bother? Or, why do I buy Colt products? Well, I believe in Colt. I've been a devout Colt follower for a long time. I may not have a lot of their merchandise, but I've always believed in the company, and I've always been a fan of Colt. So I want to be able to believe in them. I do, and I hope that this round with customer service, I hope I can get something done with them. But anyhow, I'll wrap this up. If anybody has any questions out there whatsoever, leave a comment in the box below. Hell, I'm even going to try this. If you guys like what you see, subscribe. Why not? I mean, maybe I can get some followers on this pathetic little channel of mine. Until then, I appreciate it.